assault and batteries, but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Alright, today's video I'm just going to be talking a little more about WrestleMania 35. And the last video I did, it actually surprisingly got pretty good feedback. I was expecting, after not making videos for almost 2 months, it was like, oh look, Assault and Battery with his 55th redemption tour, but you know, surprisingly you guys weren't too bad. You guys weren't too hard on me. Yeah, it was good. I got a lot of positive feedback on it, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. A lot of you guys sent your messages. It inspired me to do another video within a week. Just yeah, talking more in depth about WrestleMania. I think it goes without saying, it's a totally different animal when you watch it live in the building compared to watching it on TV. I can really only think of 3 examples where I was there live and I enjoyed the show so much, and everyone else was just like, it was shit, it was this, it was that. And WrestleMania 32 was another example where it was like, I thought it was I was miserable the whole show. The whole trip actually was one of the ones where it fell flat. It fell very flat. I think expectations were way too high for that trip. We went and it delivered very, very poorly. We were there and everyone's like, wait till it comes to Dallas, we're gonna have so much fun, this, that. And it was the complete opposite. Everything from the Dallas trip was just not worth it at all. And then the other 2 WrestleManias, 27, everyone says it's trash, which I understand with the Miz main eventing, but considering it was my first WrestleMania, I think it'll always hold one of those special places in my heart. But the one thing I think everyone, whether you're at the show, live, or watching it on TV, it was just way too long. I think it was like 16 matches in total. I had the card in front of me. Yeah, 16 matches in total. Longest match being Triple H versus Batista, which isn't always a bad thing with Big Dave in there, but 24:45 was the match time for that. And then 23:45, literally a minute less for Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, which seems like, when you think about it, Triple H versus Batista seemed like it dragged a bit because it was really slow and all that. When you have that many matches on the card, you want to start at 5 p.m., you want to finish at midnight 12:30 a.m., and you expect people to be happy and enjoy, everything after match number 12 or 13. It's not going to happen. And, with me, after, I think it was probably the Shane and Miz match is when things started to drag a little bit, and that was only like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and even Raw's the same way. At the 2-hour mark, I'm like, man, I don't even watch Raw anymore for that reason. It just became way too much of a hassle because it's too long, and when it's too long, like, people get uninterested, like, the interest level just goes straight down. I get why they do it. It's just like, we have the network, we can just drag it on, and they want to get every single wrestler on the match card, which is another thing I think that hurts WrestleMania, where it's like, it doesn't even feel special anymore, where I remember at one time, not every wrestler made it onto that card. Only the Immortals made it on because it's the showcase of the Immortals, but now it's like, it's the showcase for everyone. And I really don't think the WrestleMania card would be affected if guys like Zack Ryder, who else made it on, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, he's okay, but I don't think he really needed to be on WrestleMania. Guys in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I think is a perfect example. You had the Hardy Boys, Andrade, guys like that who I think have been proving themselves for a major chunk of the year, the WWE year, and don't even make it onto the main card, where it's like other wrestlers like the Iconics and the Boston Hug Connection, they just somehow weasel their way in, cut half the wrestlers on there. If you don't make it, tough luck maybe next year. Lastly, I think the location is what really killed WrestleMania for I think a lot of people, whereas like you have it in New York, everything was so spread out. And technically it was in 2 cities, where it was like, the show was in New Jersey, you had Brooklyn, you had the mains in New York for certain stuff. It was just like here, takes an hour to kind of get around, where I think everyone enjoyed New Orleans because it was just that small French Quarter and everything was in walking distance and everyone was all close together. It wasn't like you have this separate group who's in this part of New York, that group's in this part of New York, this group is in New Jersey. I think that just makes for a lot of hassle, and I think the biggest, one of the biggest stories coming out of WrestleMania was not even the main event, where it was more the transportation getting home. I remember I got home around 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was texting people who were still waiting in line to get an Uber to leave MetLife. I go to sleep probably by 2 a.m., wake up randomly at 3 because my phone's going off, and it was like, hey, like, how are you guys? Yeah, we were still waiting, and it was just 3 a.m. People are still waiting in front of the building to get home, so it just shows how much of a hassle, because people had to get into New York, people had to go to New Jersey. People are going to have a sour taste in their mouth when it comes to going to WrestleMania New York. Just like me, I have a sour taste after Dallas. You know that I heard the G1 Supercard is there. I have no interest at all going to Dallas after WrestleMania 32 because one bad incident happens and it just kills your entire mood. I think WWE screwed up with that one. The main event, I think, under-delivered a great amount. I think coming out of WrestleMania, Becky Lynch has kind of fallen flat. I think it's going to be a real quick thing where she's going to just be just another person. You know, everyone compared her to Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was like, she's the man, she's this, she's that. Like, no. She was okay for a couple weeks when she had the lie thing and she was bleeding. It took her about 2 or 3 weeks to get, like, back to reality where it's like, you're just another wrestler, woman wrestler on the card. And I think it shows because since WrestleMania, I know it's only been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. It's like, what has she done? You know, there's no hot Becky Lynch talk anymore. She had her fancy shirt. I'm sure she's going to make a lot of money. She got to headline WrestleMania. And now it's like, you know, back to business. Put the title on Brock and, you know, let's move on with our lives. Put the belt on Charlotte as well. I could go match by match, but that's just, I think the main thing to talk about is how the main event sucked. Kofi winning was amazing. You know, I really didn't think he was going to win. Just to see that whole match come together, I think if you made him lose, it would have been one of those Undertaker losing to Brock Lesnar deals where it's like, you could have heard a pin drop, and I think people would have went home with a very, very, very bad taste in their mouth. He was bound to win, and I'm glad he did. Yeah, it was a great moment. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.